I want to introduce you to Glory Pickleball. As far as I know, this is the only paddle that has a cross on it. This video is sponsored by Glory Pickleball. And maybe you get some divine intervention when you play with this paddle, but let me tell you how it plays and you can see for yourself. Now, I truly appreciate this company. Now, Glory Pickleball is out of Columbus, Ohio, and they are a Christian-based organization, but I always appreciate someone that stands by their faith. And the other cool thing about this is that not only does he charge only $119 for this paddle, he also gives 10% of his sales to his local church. So this guy is not about making millions of dollars. Now, we know that pickleball paddles are overpriced, right? These cost anywhere from $30 to $70 to make tops. And the $70 ones are the expensive ones like the Adidas Metal Bone that have 8-piece molds that make the paddle a little bit longer and harder to make because it's an extremely expensive production process. But mostly these paddles are anywhere from 30 to 40 bucks is what the manufacturers are paying for these paddles. And then they're charging you what they charge you, right? And we know that they've been a little bit overpriced. So I always appreciate a company that charges less and is not about breaking the bank. They're just about making a living, right? And so everybody has a right to make a profit. They just don't have the right to make a killing, right? And so that's why we all get upset with the high-priced paddles, but we still pay it because we like the brand, we like the paddle that they brought out, and that's just what the cost is going towards. You know, very much the price point is going up. So let's talk about this paddle, let's talk about the specs, and let's talk about what's good about it. It is a 16.5-inch paddle by 7.5-inch paddle. It's got a 5.5-inch length handle with a 4.25-inch circumference handle. So very good for the two-handed backhand. This is very comfortable for the two-handed backhand, and it's got the elongated face like the Invicta shape. This is a Gen 2, so this is a carbon face, thermoformed unibody paddle, just like all the others. And I will say that this paddle is right in line with a lot of the paddles that I've played that have really good blocking characteristics, like the Holberg Power E, the Grooven E, the Electrum E. So these bigger, longer face paddles, this has a really good muted feeling. The other paddle it reminds me of is the Pro Drive Carbon, or like the Diadem Edge. So very, very muted feeling paddle and really good and stable on blocking. Now, one of the ways I gauge a paddle is, can I pull it out, play it for the first time, and play well with it?
Okay, so this is the first time I'm playing this paddle. Really, first off, started getting very impressed with the blocking and the touch with it. See that if I'm able to get a paddle on it, I'm able to kind of do what I want with it. Good, really good at defense. Really good power. I was able to get like deep serves and deep returns. Touch there. Really good control.
So I found that because I'm a control player, I like control paddles. And so I don't necessarily need the paddle to give me the power to put the ball away. But I will say that this paddle is a very good all-around paddle. It has good stability, but really good control and good pop. I could end points with this paddle, which is not the easiest thing for control paddles to have the power and the control, but I found that I was pleased with the performance of this paddle.
That one there, good power, good backhand. I was able to put some of the way with just the backhand. Putting a lot of pressure, and then there's the control. I was able to just flick that over to where Cliff couldn't get to it. Maybe need to start going straight on with Mark like that. That's probably not smart. It's that one. Once again, not much effort. I'm able to get the ball way back there, and then that was another good pop that put a lot of pressure on Mark. That one I was able to reach out and get it because of the length of the paddle and still put some pressure on Mark with it. Good control. I was able to pop that over into the corner. Oh, a little bit bad footwork there. I need to stop a little earlier.
This is a lower spinning paddle. You can see from the carbon face here, this is not the traditional carbon face. They're doing something different with the material here. So this is not a high spinning paddle. So if you are a high spinner of the ball, this is not going to be the paddle that you like. It is just this is going to be a low range spinning paddle. But as far as the performance goes, I found myself able to adjust to that as I was playing. So I was able to adjust to it. I was able to still hit the shots I wanted to hit with a little bit less spin. I was very comfortable in any of the shots. So in the dink battles, hitting in the kitchen and dinking with this, it was great. It was like butter. I could put the ball wherever I wanted. I could hit any shot I wanted there and was able to do anything in the kitchen.
This dink battle here, just I really felt like I could kind of put the ball wherever I wanted, and you know, you can still miss with it. Good pop again with the backhand there. And good control there. Bye. Yeah, you're not getting the ball back. If it gets elevated, you can really put some oomph behind this paddle. Really good plow through. I'd say it's really good twist weight on this paddle. It's a stiffer paddle, 16 millimeters, so I think that it has a really good twist weight. I do not think it's been measured, but you know, compared to the other paddles I've played.
Speed ups. If anybody sped the ball up at me, I was able to just put the paddle there and let the ball bounce off of it. Very, very good on the twist weight. I would think that when this gets measured, this will have in the 6s as far as twist weight goes, because the paddle is very stable and it has a very large sweet spot. So even hitting out here on the edge, the paddle was still able to perform and do what I needed to. So any type of defensive shots, any type of resets from the kitchen line, if somebody's speeding it up on me, I was able to just reset it right back in the kitchen.
Defense capability, again, really good at blocking. Horrible footwork there, Mark Torchy. Good for third shots. I really felt comfortable with this paddle all the way around. That was a good move. I just didn't have my paddle up, but I was able to put some pressure on Cliff there.
And then if they left the ball up, I was able to end the point. So it had really good pop as for a control paddle.
Really feel comfortable with it. Really, right off the bat, was super comfortable with this paddle. Able to get some setups. Good put away power. Like anytime the ball was elevated, I was able to put the ball away. So I just really thought good mix of power and good balance. It's not too head heavy. It feels not super head heavy, so I don't think it'll be a problem on wrists or elbows at all.
So for a control paddle, I would put this like the Power Pro from Holbrook, which is a control paddle that has good pop. I would put it in that category as far as the pop goes. Once again, the way we define the power versus the pop, they're two different metrics that you would kind of measure a paddle with. Power would be full swings as I'm taking a full wind up, and then the plow through of the paddle would help generate that. And then the pop is going to be the half volleys, the putbacks when you're getting sped up at the kitchen, or half volleys when you're trying to speed up from no man's land. So that's the power versus the pop. This paddle has both. So for a lower priced paddle, this paddle is a really well performing paddle, all except the spin that we talked about. Overall, I appreciated the performance of this paddle. I appreciated, for the price point, the way that this paddle played and the reach I got out of it. I thought it was definitely, for that price, a good paddle. Now the best thing about this is that $119 price point, with our pirate discount code, you get a 10% off of that. So you're talking about a $100 paddle here. That's pretty incredible with that, and the fact that he's giving 10% to his local church. I think that's pretty cool about this company and very unique in the market. So thank you, Glory Pickleball, for sending us this paddle to review, and thank you for those of you that are using our code. That helps us keep the lights on, helps us keep bringing you these reviews. If you'd like to check out some of my other reviews or some of the other paddles I've reviewed, check these out.